Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream today. For those in Russia, it is already New Year's, so I will put on my Happy New Year hat. С Новым годом всем! С Новым годом, с новым счастьем! Удачи и успехов в Новом году. That's for all my Russian friends. So I have quite the itinerary in line today. So the first thing that I wanted to do was play some music, because I haven't played the flute in a while. I haven't recorded any videos in a while. Then we're going to move on to like my short tea time segment that I was going to record separately, but I figured, you know what, it's New Year's. I'm home alone. Might as well enjoy. Might as well do as much streaming as I can. I'll see about ending the stream right about 6 o'clock Eastern time, because I have to go prepare for New Year's downstairs and get all the TV working and everything, and meet the New Year with Russian class. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is a song that was written by Schubert. It's called Sunshine, or Serenade. And I had to add a few accidentals into it. So I figured this is my interpretation of this particular serenade. Don't know if any of you guys will recognize it, but why not? Let's do that. Let me just go ahead and check, see what we got. Alright. Okay. Just checking on settings. Alright. Off we go. Alright, so now I want to end the year off right, and I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story that I kind of made up myself, but it has a good message in it about the different types of people we run into in the world. So I would say that I took a walk one day in the woods, and I figured out an interesting story that came to my mind because I was supposed to take a hike with a friend of mine, and oops, oh dear, oh, I lost it. I was supposed to take a walk with a friend of mine, and I realized that we're two very different people. So I will get that story prepared in a moment. But from the time being, I want to explain this whole year. It's been like a year of on and off hiatuses. But in all seriousness, you know, I've learned that you have to do the whole YouTube thing for a reason. You have to, you know, do it not because you're going to get paid for it or something, but do it because you love it, because you love music, because you love whatever it is that you do on this channel. So besides the hiatus I took this year, not a lot has really happened. This year was kind of the awkward in-between. 2016 was awful. 2017 started off pretty good. I had a job. I ended up quitting that job, getting a better job. And then it became a year of learning about myself, because that second job finished up the 1st of September, I want to say. And after that, I worked for 3 months for a friend. But things just kind of haven't gone my way. And I am looking for other work. But I figured I'll give this streaming thing a try and see what I think of it. And I'm trying to pack a lot in because I have 3 hours to stream. But it's like I want to do it because I love it, not because I'm going to make any money doing it. So, back to the hikers, this kind of describes a lot of different people that I've run into this year, where we have different philosophies on, like, the way we approach situations. So, there was once 2 hikers. The first hiker enjoyed the trail that seemed to lead to nowhere. She'd stop and be quiet to watch a deer sprint across a path. She may bend and pluck a mushroom, or watch a butterfly in a leaf. The second hiker enjoyed the thrill of achieving a goal. He always knew exactly what was waiting for him at the end of the trail. The waterfall, the cliff, the fantastic view. The moral of the story is that the first hiker is more concerned with enjoying the journey, and the second hiker is more focused on the destination no matter how he got there. So this correlates to different personalities that people have. And the way I see it, I'm the first hiker a lot of the time. I like stopping to smell the roses. I like to enjoy what I'm seeing along the way. When I get to where I'm going, I think I like it more. I enjoy it more because I worked so hard to get there. Whereas the second hiker could take shortcuts, he could ignore the deer or scare it off, and just keep going, and because he knows where he's going. He's got that goal, and he knows where he's going. But I don't know, because I want to be a mixture of both, because I do want to have goals, I do want to achieve them, but I have this problem with the inability to stick to things. So this next year, my goal is to actually stick to things and do them and finish them. If I start something, I finish it. Or in the case of YouTube, I actually start something and then hope for the best and still have a job on the side. So, moving on to the next point, a lot has happened with YouTube this year. Everyone said it. I'm not going to be like a parrot and quote everything everybody else said. But smaller YouTubers, such as myself and a few other people, I mean, I've got 100 subscribers, that's not much. A lot of them can't get started because of the advertiser problem. They'll get demonetized before they've even gotten off the ground. And that affects anybody wanting to start up. Whereas some of the big YouTubers with millions and millions of subscribers, they, may lose a couple hundred, views on their stuff. They may not lose all that much, but they do get demonetized as well. So they get affected too, but they don't need it as badly. Whereas some other people that want to get started can't. So it's a long, hard journey just because of that. So I'm going to try this whole streaming thing. It's not going to be a regular schedule per se. I'm going to try to stream on Sundays because I don't do all that much on Sundays. I go to church in the morning and then I'm done. Just to clarify, as this is my first stream, you guys are getting to know me and everything. I don't discriminate against people. I mean, I may have Christian faith or whatever, but I don't discriminate against people. I don't judge against people. I may not particularly like the way somebody does something or what they do, but it's not my place to judge them. It's not my place to hate on them for it. That's their life. It's their business. I'm not going to even get into that. I'm respectful towards everybody I meet. I had gay friends, in college, so whoever comes to this stream, I hope that, I hope that you enjoy yourself. I hope that you find that, I hope that you find that you're welcome to be here. You're welcome to, whisper chat me or something. Message me, and I will respond back, and I'll try to help you as best I can. So, normally, politics and religion are, like, forbidden topics. In my case, politics is off the table completely. I don't like bringing it up. I don't like blaming one person or another for whatever's happening. Things are difficult right now, no doubt. And, I don't want to talk politics. It's one of those messy subjects that can cost friendships. It can cause you to fight with people. It's just not a comfortable subject. So far as religion is concerned, I'm also going to limit that. But if you have a question about something, about a faith, about, about a scripture or something, feel free to whisper chat me. I'll be more than happy to explain something based on what I know. But I'm by no means a scholar. I'm by no means a theologian or anything like that. I don't study theology. I don't know it very well, but I can offer you my explanation for what I'm reading, my viewpoint on it. But anyways, moving on to the next thing we've got going. I want to show you guys my last base. So this is the inside of my last base. And, okay. So as you can see, there's lights all along the back wall. And it had, like, this weird colored effect all over the ground. And all of my chests were labeled, so I had everything organized wherever it was. All of my ores and things were here. On this wall here, not sure if you can see in the next image, but on this wall here was all my holiday stuff. And on this wall was all of my regional, like, biome-related items. Oh. Okay. Yep, there we go. There's the Christmas presents right there. That's where I kept all my Christmas stuff. This is also slightly minimalized because I started moving already. Those are the processors and the forges. These are all wood and stone and crafting items to put them right next to the forges. That way I can get to them easy enough. Okay, so this is the downstairs area of my last fort that had all of my teleporters to various areas, and they were all kind of mixed up. My house, my armory, floating island and mountains. This is Mexico and Egypt, and then down here is the corruption area. Corruption zones. I have 3 teleporters because it's hard to get a good spawn down there. And Savannah and Tundra. Just to clarify, this is also a game called Creativerse. I'm sorry, I failed to mention that. Jungles, caves, clubhouse, and diamond bunker. This green one right here is Aleph Dane. He's the one person allowed on my server. Because I have been raided before. Not on my server, but on other ones. So I don't let anyone in. And down here are the corners of the earth. This right here is a cellar that I built that goes down to some spawning platforms that involve corruption. So I do spawn what's called a thing down there. So I'll show you that later. But that's what this looks like. Okay, that's the world room. I did create another teleporter for the southwest section. Okay. And here's the better view of Aleph Dane's teleporter and the basement going down. This is what it looked like outside. Now, you can't really see it very well in this image because it's so dark and it was nighttime when I took this picture, but there's a roof slanted here, and this is the area upstairs. This is the area downstairs. Okay, this is the front end and the front walk. Everything here got removed because I wanted to put in a new base, and I wanted to put all of my teleporters in one place, kind of organized, and I wanted to use the same sort of organization that I had in my friend FMU's world. He had a lot of space, and so I took up like 6 slots and put in my base. This is my world. I can't show you his at the moment, but I had a large base over there, along with a side house, which I didn't particularly want to carry the side house, but I brought over what's called the longhouse. Okay, so this is just the picture of what it is before, and I'm going to boot up everything to show you what's next. And I moved before you guys saw all of this, I moved everything ahead of time because I knew that I didn't want to show like the teleporter passwords or anything like that because those are private to my world and I don't want anybody getting any smart ideas. So here we go. We're coming into Creativerse. Hopefully it looks good and you can hear the music in the background, hopefully. And right before this stream, my mouse died, so I just plugged in my other mouse, and we'll go from there. Here we are. Alright, so here's my base. There's the Christmas tree that I put in. That's an arc sign Christmas tree that somebody uploaded to the workshop. Here's my longhouse. I added in the green tourmaline glass. This is one of my favorite blocks in the entire game. Okay, this guy's Rocky and Mini Pebble. I'll introduce you later. So this is green tourmaline glass. It's one of my favorite blocks. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the upstairs. So here I've got all my teleporters. Now you can see them all organized. All the world ones with the biomes and everything where I can get resources are all on that side. And all of the builds I have are on that side. And I will be showing you those shortly. And down here I added in the world... corners of the world right there in front of the meeting hall. And again, I have accents with the green tourmaline glass. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the holiday Christmas tree. So we have to go through the diamond bunker to get there. So I'll show you that. Here we go. Loading issues. Loading issues. There we are. So here's my little diamond bunker. It has all my bombs and everything in it. Potions, some potions as well. Although most of my potions are now kept in the storage unit, which you'll see later. So here we are on the other side of the compound. There's the obsidian bunker. There's the fort. That is actually an incomplete build because I want to add some stuff to the inside. Over here is Greece, which is the Greek bathhouse and healing fountain, healing pool. And down here, I'll show you later, is the cave system. So if you come over here, this path here through my wall leads to Aleph Dane's house. But here is my Christmas tree. So, little known fact, Russian people celebrate New Year's like Christmas. So we have Christmas trees, we have a grandfather winter, for lack of a better word. Somebody put up this beautiful tree on the workshop, so I thought I'd build it. That's a sukkah for the Jewish holiday of Sukkot, which is in September. But this Christmas tree here involves the hover containers, the gravitational containers, as well as the placemats. It makes good use of that. Alright. And here we go. See a little bit better. And then down here, we have my Hanukkah from the Hanukkah season. Oops. Oh, everything just failed on me. Let's start again. And see if I can get this going. Oh no. There we go. That should do the trick. There we go. Internet's back. Alright, let's go back in. Oops, knocked out. A little technical difficulty here. Hopefully everything's reconnecting. internet failed. Oops. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go back in. My internet failed on me, and I dropped right out. So hopefully this will all record into one video that I'm going to try to upload to YouTube. But yes, it failed. And if it does that again, I'll have to cut the stream short because I don't know what's happening with it. And we're only half an hour into the stream. And I'm going to make sure everything else is closed down. Close that as well. There we go. Alright, we are back. We are back. So here's our Christmas tree. And before I was rudely interrupted by the internet, here is my Hanukkah from the holiday season. It was also featured in the Creativerse holiday recipes of 2017. The developers liked it enough, they added to that list. So we have the Hanukkah with lights, we have a dreidel, and we have some presents. Okay. There we go. So that's my castle on that end. Oh, the little rats. Alright, let's go hunting for a second. These guys used to be the bane of my existence before I got better armor. One of those things shot fire at me and burned down my entire chicken coop. That was not fun. Okay, this is one of my Adobe designs. This is my personal design. I might post this to the workshop eventually. It was supposed to be a liquids building, but it's just an empty building for right now. Unless someone wants to move in here. I might put in some stuff just so whoever wants to move in here can, and do like a healing pool upstairs. So back down to whence we came. Alright, that was the Diamond Bunker and the Holiday Village with my other Christmas tree. And oh, I walked past it, but we have another Christmas tree right here. And this one is the one that Creativerse developers came out with, where you can actually add things to it. And this is the top of the tree. So you can add things to it. And I added a bunch of shurikens, which are like the snowflake equivalent of a shuriken. So I added a bunch of those to that little tree for the town center. So off we go on our next adventure. Let's introduce you to Rocky. Here's Rocky. Rocky baby. And his little mini pebble friend. Yeah, those are two of my pets. If we go back here, this is a spawning platform, this stone building. And it has all of the lava in it. All my lava spawning in it. We're not actually going to go in, we're just going to go look at the window. Oh look, a Keepa got trapped in there. It's a silver one, let's go get him. So anytime I go in here, I shut the door behind me. Oh, silver Keepa. Yay. Let's get this guy. Keepas are legendary creatures that carry these arc stones. They're the only source of an arc stone. Oh, gave me obsidian and gave me wood. That's good stuff. On occasion, I do spawn a chest down here. But very rarely. I have to stick around the area for long periods of time. Whoops. Before something spawns there. So off we go to the next area. All these guys are stomping at my garden. This is my little garden where I grow stuff. And I need to figure out a way to keep these guys... Oh, hi. To keep these guys out of here. Let's kill all these guys. Okay, here's my honey growing area. You simply put a queen bee on top of a piece of cragwood or any kind of wood. And it will spawn this little flowery mixture. So you can take it and use beeswax. And I also made the frame out of beeswax. So here's the infamous chicken coop. I used to have a yellow one. I rebuilt it as a red one. And I have every Chizard available in the game. Back here in the backyard. There's my little Chizards. Normal Chizard, Arctic Chizard, Night Chizard, and Corrupted Chizard. Those are the 4 Chizard varieties available in the game. So off we go to our barn. This is where I keep all my pets, essentially. Okay. We have the Arctic Miru and the Corrupt Miru. I actually don't have a normal one yet. I have all the variations of Pigsy. Night Pigsy, Corrupt Pigsy, and Normal Pigsy. I do not have the Boss Hog, which is the one with the tusks. You'll see him running around. So here's our little keep of friends. Gold, regular blue, and silver's over there. This guy took me a long time to wrangle. He's a gold one, and he looks like he's hungry. He took me a long time to get. Alright, let's check out our backyard. We have my leafy collection. So, here we go. I have Night Leafy, Corrupt Leafy. We have Dried Leafy. We have the Mossy Leafy found in the jungles. We have Normal Leafy over here. Hey, little buddy. And put my sword away. And we've got an Autumn Leafy, a yellow colored Autumn Leafy, which is a different color. And we've got this little guy, which is also an Autumn Leafy, but it's a different color. It's a darker one. So that's my leafy collection. And I recently realized how hard it is to find cactus flowers. Well, you feed this little dude right here, and he gives you cactus flowers. So that's just a little factoid. Alright, off we go. Let's keep going. And we will slow down once we get to all of the builds, so you can see them. This is just my area, but as you can tell, my big old base is twice as big, if not more, than my previous base. So let's go down here before we come up here and show you the mushroom village. Let's go, oops, over here. Uh-oh, I fell. Yeah, let's go this way. Alright. So before I continue on, let's go down here. As you can tell by this view, I've changed the entrance to my... Oh, oops. Wrong button. I've changed the entrance. Let me come up on this hill, and I'll show you the perspective from the other photo. From this end here... Oh, gosh, it's high up. You can tell that I've changed the entrance significantly. So now there's a path, and the entrance is there, versus where it was before, which is a little bit closer to the road. And then there's this lovely green fence that I put in using the leaves. This particular fence is echoed in another area down here. I loved it so much I decided to bring this build in and copy this. This has been here for a while. This is what's underneath the barn. And there's, once again, my design for a well. So all of this was here before. But I really like this sort of lattice effect with the leaves and a light behind it. There's a light back there. I liked it so much, I decided to incorporate it into the base of a longhouse and put in these walls so that it looks nice going up. So off we go up this way. And we're back to the main path. I may add another road going this way and connect it to this area here. But for right now, I don't want to do that. So here we go. Here's our area. Oh, and as you can tell, I took apart a piece of his house. So you can't really see much of the top of his house because I had to take apart a piece of it. I haven't put it back together yet. So let's go up this way. Alright, here's our first mushroom, the red mushroom. And this is where I put all my recipes and my blueprints. So I keep all of them here, recipes, blueprints, and holiday recipes and Halloween recipes. If somebody needs something, seriously let me know. I will give it to you gladly. Oh, Mexican temple building. This was the home of the teleporter from Mexico, but I just decided to leave it because it's a nice little building. But something like this will be built in Mexico eventually. Let's go over here. There's an additional path down here. So let's go back this way. I'm trying not to go too fast because I keep getting frame drops. But this stairs right here leads us to the blue mushroom. And at night, it glows blue. Look how pretty. And there's blue lights in here as well. Alright, so it's a similar build to the other one, but I used all blue blocks. And, oops. Here we go. And there's hidden blue lamps under here somewhere that give it this blue hue. And again, I love glass in this game. It looks so pretty. I got this pack as soon as I could because it has some really beautiful pieces. Let me find it for you. Here we go. Here's the red one, the yellow one, and the blue one. You'll see these featured in other parts of my build. Here's my favorite green one. Diamond, reinforced, and tourmaline glass. Glass stairs don't count. Tourmaline glass is also very pretty. And I used to have that in the window of my old base before I changed it. And I actually don't have a picture of my first base. But my very first base was just a single building right where that's standing. And this path coming from the building this way. And a very long tower with a sort of healing bath at the top. That was my very first thing I ever built in this game. So, since I have over 1,000 hours in this game, I figured I'd show you guys what all I've accomplished. Now, for fastness sake, we're going to fly. Alright, what you see directly in front of me is the gazebo. I changed up the design on a piece of paper and redrew it so that it has a completely different roof. And it sticks out on all four sides. It's kind of the center of my world. So, we're going to go down to the old janky house right here that I've also modified. This is Janky 2.0. So if we stay in here, you can see my fountain very well. There's the Holiday Village and the Obsidian and Diamond Bunkers. Over there's the caves. So if we stand here and we look at the map, we can see my entire complex here. So there's Holiday Village, the fort, the 2 bunkers, the Greek village, the Mushroom Village, and the homestead, basically. And this is my house. I'll show you that last. And we have the castle building, all of the central items in my town, and we have the Sierra type adobe building. So from here, we're actually going to go back home, and I'm going to show you some of my other builds in addition to what is here. So before we go back home, we're going to go down the path this way. And I don't know if you can see it from here, but we're going to go visit the clubhouse. Now, I do have a teleporter to the clubhouse here, which we'll use to take home. But let's go up this way so we can see what we're looking at here. This is the standard clubhouse entry. Nothing special about this one. I don't think I changed all that much in here, with the exception of a few pieces. There's our teleporter. So, I live near a canyon and a grassland area, and there's a very special item over that way. Let's go on the roof and fly down to whatever that is. Oopsie daisies. Okay. Alright, just a sneak preview. There is a dock down this way. So let's fly. Oh, and I need to take some potions because I will die in the next instant. But here we go. Here's our windmill cottage to the dock. Let's drink some stuff. And I don't have anything else I can eat, so let's put that in my pocket. Okay, so here's our windmill cottage. And it has the windmill over here on the side. It's a very lovely design. I don't recall if I changed anything here, but I could have. And over here is my personal design of a lighthouse. Now, funny story, I actually designed this one time when I'd had a couple of drinks. I spent time drawing it, and I put in a spiral staircase and everything, and I just went and built it. So here we go up our spiral staircase. Let's go over here. And we are at the top. And there's a light here that's supposed to be controlled by these items here, but it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it, so it's not going to work. But it's supposed to turn on and off. So I'm going to have to play with all the machines before I can figure out if that's going to work. But for right now, I know it's not going to, because something's going on with the connections to machines, and so they don't connect to one another, and they malfunction as a result, so they don't work the way I want them to. So I'll come back and rewire that another time. So let's go back down this way and go back to our home. I'm quite proud of this building. The walls are made of salt because that's the whitest block in this game. Okay, let's not fall off the thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna shut the door so none of our friends come in. And we're gonna teleport back home. Here we are back home. So the first thing I'm going to show you is Stonehenge and Castle. Stonehenge is another original design of mine. The Castle build was released with the creation of the Medieval collection, which I actually don't own yet. Let me see if I can show you kind of... There it is. It involved all of these blocks. These awesome, cool medieval chests, chains, fireplaces, special doors. All of these things are included in this set, and you can get it in their shop. It's on sale at the moment for 800 coins, but I'm not going to be buying anything anytime soon. So I'm going to show you, because I had a friend craft me all the blocks I needed. I built all of this myself. So firstly, we're going to enter and see Stonehenge, which is actually in England, so I figured the castle is fitting. The fort will be on the other side of this. I haven't built it yet. So let's see what our Stonehenge has to offer. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. It's nighttime. Yep, when we come back to the base, I will sleep. But here we are. Here's the altar. Say a prayer, and the sun will come up. So we're going to come out this way, and here's our castle. And I believe we can spend the night here if we want to. Lovely castle. I did change up a couple things here and there in this build because I just didn't like the way they looked, and or I didn't have enough resources for something. But anyways, here's the armory and blacksmith's cottage. Has a bunch of cool stuff, and I believe we have a bed upstairs. Yeah, let's sleep away the night because I don't want it to be dark when I show you guys everything. Okay, good morning, friend. Let's go, oops, let's go outside and enjoy the morning light. So here's our castle with the lovely appendages on the side. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but inside there's like a bedroom upstairs, there's observatories on either side, and you can actually climb the ladders right there to get to the outer perimeter of this area. And up here there are actually levers that can open and close a door, but doors don't move in Creativerse, so this is the best we've got. But it has some really realistic looking details with the chains and the, you know, all this metal stuff that comes down and locks into itself. It's very lovely. But anyways, we spent the night in our castle. Let's go back around and see what else I've got in my main home. And just to let everybody know, it is actually 3:40 p.m. Eastern Time. So, it's still not quite New Year's here, but it is New Year over in Russia. Russia, China, and that whole area. Of course, Australia got New Year's first. So, Happy New Year to everybody there. So, here's our base once again. So, we've been through the diamond bunker. You've seen that. Let's take a look at the obsidian bunker, which is the armory. Loading problems. Here we go. So here's my obsidian bunker. This is where I keep all my swords and all of my armor bits. as you can see, I fought so many things that I've got a whole bunch of this armor, and I usually only wear diamond armor. Let's see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing diamond armor, yep, because I figured it would look cute with my outfit. But if I want to go down to corruption to fight something, I want to wear lumite armor, which I should have some over here somewhere. Either that or I've used it. And I've got all the basic swords as well. The regular wood sword, the stone sword, and the obsidian sword, which I no longer use, but they're really pretty, so I left them on their display. Iron I don't use anymore either because it's a low-level sword, but when you first start out, those are the 4 swords that you learn to use. Then once you hit the lava layer, you get diamond, so you can make diamond swords. And once you make everything diamond, you can make lumite swords, which are these right here. And I'm also carrying a sword, which is this purple one with the yellow tip on it. It's called the Rainbownator 5000 because it does this. Rainbows. Very nice. Yeah, so lots and lots of clothes. So I've got plenty. Let's clear up my hand for a second. Okay. So back we go. Here we are. Alright, so now I can show you my house because it's the next teleporter over. All of these are my builds versus world-related biome teleporters. Now everything is conveniently separated. And eventually I'll build in another sort of scaffolding over the top so you can walk up over the teleporters and go straight to the meeting hall. So anyways, let me show you my home. Here we go. There was a cooking station here. This is a table area, area where you can sit down. There we go, so now you can see my character. She's sitting down. And see, I put the walls covering the windows, and I put a light in the window so that it would light up the back of that design. So another thing I really enjoy about this build is the staircase. It has a very unique look to it, and I plan to redesign it slightly because this right here prevents you from getting in and out. So it's one of those areas that I don't like the way this looks. So I'm going to have to change up the way that this is. For example, I can put the slab down and do this instead. And it won't stick as badly. But then I've got all of this visible up here. So again, I don't know how to fix this, but I will eventually figure it out. But for experiment purposes, I'm going to show you how it looks like that. Remy is a friend of mine. He has his room. I have mine. It's a little tiny room with a double bunk bed. Some place to sit and some books to read. That's all I really need. So here's... let's reposition my hat. So here's my stairs here and my house. Oh, and the dining hall type of area over here. So I've got lots of cool areas, and this is just my little home. Eventually I will furnish it appropriately and see what I can do with it, but for the time being, everything is just gonna have to be as it is. So off we go. Boom, here we are. So, let's see, we've still got 4 spots on this wall to visit. And then, we've already been to the clubhouse, so we don't need to visit that again. Floating Island's really fun, but it's very generic. I don't remember changing anything for that. Aleph Dane's house, I will show you a small glimpse of it, but I did not get permission to show his house, so I will not. And then I'm going to show you the different biomes in this game. This is one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm taking a small break from all the movement just to talk about the game itself. Sure, there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of issues with the game itself, but it's still a lovely game. The textures are fantastic, all of the parts and everything looks really, really good. There's so many things you can craft. Let me show you the crafting menu. You know, there's different categories of crafting. There's lights and various LEDs that you can craft. There's swords that you can craft. Yeah, wooden vines, you can make a wooden sword. There's various armor you can craft, storage items. The one I really want is this medieval chest, and I'll show you what it looks like when we go down to the storage room. But these are all the chests available in the game. There's also the hidden temple chest. I do have one that I got with a sample set, and it had one chest in it. And then I don't have the hidden temple altar. So those are the 3 things I don't have, and I'm going to see if I can get someone to craft those for me. So then we also have tools that you can use for gardening, for washing your pets, and for actually taming them. You walk around with a little kettlebell looking thing, and you can tame any animal in the world, in any of the biomes. With the exception of ghosts, I believe you cannot tame ghosts or anything that pops out of the idols or out of the Troggington traps. And that's something I will be doing at the end of this stream, is beating some Troggington traps, so people can kind of see how those are supposed to go. So off we go back down here. We've got the capture blocks, which is what you use to capture your blueprints and take them wherever you want, and they end up in the blueprint category, which hangs on to all of your blueprints as well as any that you put in your library. So we have potions, we have various decorative blocks. You'll see me use these in the gingerbread house that I'll show off a little bit later. And there's several other decorative pieces like carpets and different colored wood blocks. I wish they would add like purple, orange, and green of these, because I think it'd be really cool to have a greenhouse. I also want to do a rainbow village in the far corner where there's nothing built. I'm going to do a rainbow village down there. And then we've got various signs, chairs, tables, doors, etc. This is another cute addition. It's a fireplace. I believe I have 1 or 2 pieces of this, but you have to buy the super bundle to get that. Now we've got the new ice frost category, as well as the galactic and the industrial categories. There's loads of stuff in the industrial categories. Also, I got gold, and I've got the checkered obsidian, which I'm not really a fan of, and I wish I could have returned, because I honestly don't like the way this looks. It looks almost like there's molasses in there, but it's actually iron rods. And then we've got all of our various chisel blocks, limestones, and things that look like Greek buildings. This is one of my favorites, spiral. And all of the glass. So these are all things I don't own. And you have to buy the various packs to get these. One day I might. I'm still missing the temple set, which involves these bright colors, and I'm also missing the medieval set. I would need to raise some serious money to get the coins to actually buy these, but I'm not interested in that. On to the blueprint area. So we've got featured blueprints, and we've got the library of saved blueprints, which I want to put the Anubis statue in Egypt. Japanese pagoda is just outside. In my friend's world, I may build that into a Japanese area with some pink blossoms somewhere. And various things I really want to build. Excuse me. So there's the Christmas tree. The various things I've saved from the workshop are all here. When I get to the ice castle, I'm going to put these ice castle details in there, so that they have some sort of fancy looking outside versus just a plain ice wall. The other thing that I really enjoy about this is people are so creative. Here's my pile. We've got the water well, the Stonehenge, the longhouse with the storage basement I haven't published yet, and we've got the Hanukkah menorah set that people can download and build for themselves. Anything with this symbol right here is published publicly in the workshop. Anything without the symbol is not published publicly. Hopefully you guys kind of understand that. So off we go to the next thing on our list, which is Mexico. I love these blocks. They have a very cool rustic look to them, and this is probably one of the most amazing builds I've ever done. And if anybody wants me to save the blueprint and put it into the workshop, I will. But I really like the Mexican style builds. They're absolutely gorgeous. And you saw the little, the small temple that I had over behind my base. That was supposed to be where this teleporter is, but I decided to just bunch all the teleporters together. So, here we go. I'm going to take my hat off, because it keeps sliding around. Okay, off we go. Here's the inside of the very large temple building. So here we go. Very large temple building. We come down here, and we come to Grum's Temple Garden, which I really wanted to put in Mexico, because I figured this guy needs to be memorialized. Apparently, he was a player that played on Creativerse. I forget which world he was on, but it was a city world where everybody built stuff, and he had some phenomenal builds. But unfortunately, he passed away from cancer, so they memorialized him with this lovely floral display. I absolutely love it. So anyways, there's our giant temple. I changed up some of the blocks because, of course, I don't have the temple build blocks, the bundle set. I don't have that, so I had to change up some stuff and add some stucco here and there. So it looks cool as it is, but I'm sure if I use the original build, it'll look a little different. So over here, we have the very famous Chichen Itza. So before we go up, I want to show you the secret entrance down here. This is the... Oh, it's the death chamber. So you toss your enemies down there. Oh, hey, Pebble. Okay, let's put this back in my hand. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a whole complex of buildings. I might add a small temple building here and maybe another temple building here. I haven't quite decided yet. So off we go. Let's go up to the top. And there we go. There's another temple garden. So here's our view from the top. And you can actually walk all the way around. Hi, Leaky. Watch as the bag falls down the stairs. Pretty cool, right? They added that physics to the game, and I absolutely think it's adorable. But anyways, I added these death statues in to symbolize the columns that were holding up the area. Now I can substitute those for actual limestone columns, which I will do in the future. But for right now, that's what my build looks like. So here you can see from the top of Chichen Itza, you can see the main courtyard, right down to the big temple. And of course, one more detail in this area is over here. I managed to put actual flowing lava here, where I surrounded it with hardened lava blocks, completely surrounded, as in the corners as well, and it'll stay liquid. Otherwise, up here where the temperature reader says 95 degrees, it actually will turn solid. Oh, hi, friend. Yeah. So it will actually turn solid if you just leave it on the ground. It won't stay liquid, so you have to actually keep it... You actually have to keep it semi-liquid in the hardened lava for it to work out that way. So let's head to our next destination. Okay. And while it's loading, I also want to bring to your attention that there is a request area, an extension now on Twitch where you can actually request me to play a song that you want me to play. I'm limited to what I can play. If I can find the sheet music, I'll play it for you. I'll even search for it live on stream. But anyways, next area we've got here, besides everything else in my world, I know it's overwhelming, there's a lot. The next area is Egypt. So let's go visit Egypt, because we're going from desert to desert anyway. So let's visit Egypt and see what it has to offer. Egypt starts in the bungalow house. So we'll load in and you'll see the bungalow house first. Alright. Here we are. We're inside the bungalow house. I like these bungalow details. They're very, very cool. Very cool details. So here's our bungalow house. let's go upstairs for a moment. I had to rework this entire staircase because I wanted the stairs to go down to our next area. So here's our bungalow house. I don't want to leave anything in the chest, so we're going to keep going. Here's a sneak peek to what you're about to see downstairs. Yes, those are the pyramids of Giza. Okay. And because we have an open floor down here, they all come up through this way. So if you see me constantly killing things, that's why. So off we go, down the stairs. And here we are at the pyramids of Giza. So we have 2 large pyramids and a small one. And I'm going to stand here and show you the map for a moment. So we've got the Pigsy statue down here. We've got the 2 large pyramids of Giza. We've got one of my favorite things in this entire world, the scarab. And we've got the tiny pyramid. And each item has lights near it. And I also finished the path. This temple right here is not completed yet. And the reason behind that is because I was not able to figure out what I want to put in there and whether or not I want to put the sarcophagus in there. And this right here is the Ankh symbol. And just above here is another building, which is the monument. I forget what it's called, my apologies. But in my build, you go up that monument and it shoots you straight up and you can fly down to view the area. So here we go. So take a look at that for a moment while I figure out the name of that obelisk. I believe it's an obelisk. Let me find out which one it is. It is one of the obelisks called Technu. Alright. And it's usually pairs of them at an entrance to a tomb. I just like the one as a sort of beacon in my world. So off we go. Let's visit the first pyramid. There's our lizard friend. So all we have is lights in here. I really like the way I did this, with the lights going all the way up each corner of the pyramids. This one is blue, so there's the blue glass. I had to use it somewhere. And then I've got these paintings that you can kind of see just from here. And let's see if I have anything to step on. I do. So let's pillar up and I can show you the paintings from here. So there's one painting of the Eye of Ra, I believe. And there's an Ankh on the ground, but I also built one over there. And over here we have my scarab. So let's pillar back down and go visit my scarab. And this is another thing I added in, is these columns. I'm thinking of using those columns over there in that temple. So before we get to this part, let's visit the next temple, the next area. So this is what I have so far for this temple. And so far so good, it looks fantastic. But I want to add like a sarcophagus or something in the middle. Haven't quite finished this part, but it's still lovely. And the addition of these columns made these builds look so much better. And next, we have Pigsy. We have Pigsy. It's a giant Pigsy statue. I am not going to kill you this time. It's a giant Pigsy statue, and we've got these blue and white banners, excuse me, that I changed up the beams for, because now you can actually see that they're kind of draped with the use of columns and everything. And this guy has an entrance between his legs, like the actual Sphinx. And there's a storage room in here where you can store things. And we are going to take a walk, actually, down this way. Oh, let's put that in there. Okay. Next thing is my red pyramid. Same design, but it has a yellow beacon at the top, and it has the same triangulations. I may also put a sarcophagus in here. I haven't quite decided. And here is my beautiful scarab. I love this thing, and I wish I could win some sort of award for it, but I can't. I found the design on Google, and they had like a perler bead design, I think, where you can put all these beads down, put them in this pattern, and you can squish them down with an iron. And they would go flat, and it would be a cool design, sometimes a necklace, sometimes a bookmark, what have you. But I loved this design because the diamond glass glows. So I've got a completely symmetrical scarab over here with a cool, like, outline to it as like a cartouche. And then everything here glows. And it's one of my favorite things I've put into my world, visually speaking. Okay, now we've got the pink pyramid. So here's another glass. We have pink tourmaline glass in here. It's just the regular tourmaline glass. Natural tourmaline is actually that color. It has like green edges and a pink kind of look to it. So it actually has those colors. Hey, little friend. This is a tiny little, almost like a child's pyramid. So I'm thinking of possibly putting a couple of like hover anti-grav containers and hovering pieces of animal that have been buried here and were found, and sort of turn it into a museum. But again, I haven't quite completed my thought for that. So now we're just going to go over the dunes and visit our Ankh symbol. And this one I made almost double-decker. It has two parts to it because I wanted to add lights inside it. So behind like the red one at the top, right up here, there's a light. There's lights at either arm, and there's a light in the middle and underneath all of these. So just to give you an idea, this thing is 3 blocks thick. And if you take off, I believe this block, or is it this one? One of these blocks. Where is it? Uh-oh, there it is. There's the light behind the first red area. I just took apart my entire thing. Okay, so there's that first light back here that literally lights it from behind. Any of these glass pieces glow when you put a light behind them. So I put lights up in all of these. I may change out this block, the sandstone block, for something else. But for right now, like I said, it's going to have to stay put. And last but not least in this area, we have this obelisk. Now, be prepared because it will launch me because I have these fans here. So, boom, let's go. And off we go. Here's our area here. It just launches you. I haven't quite figured out why, but it doesn't look too bad. So let's see if I can land on top of this thing here. See if I can land. There we go. So here's my Egypt build. Lots of really cool things here. Oh, ignore the dogs barking in the background. That's my dogs. They're probably barking because someone's at the door. But I'm not expecting any guests, so we're going to ignore those guys. So let's go back in here. And go back to my base. Stop it! Alright. They'll be quiet here in a minute. So off we go to the next thing. Alright. Here we're back in my base. I think this is very convenient for all my stuff, and I can always add more teleporters here to add more builds, which I plan to do in the future, just not right now. We've seen the clubhouse. It's the big tree house all the way at the back lot of where I am. Floating island. This one's the basic floating island design, but it took a long time to build because there were a lot of dirt blocks that were situated on almost a cone shape, and I'll show you that when we go to this build. But I fell so many times, I can't even tell you. I have so many death statues just from this building alone. Oh my goodness. And by the way, this guy on the loading screen here is Leafy Elfie, and Truggington III. We'll get to take a look at those when I get to the end of my stream and show you guys how to beat our holiday dudes. So, pause here. It's so lovely here. And I wanted to show you guys this place at night because there's so many glowing areas here that it looks fantastic. So it's situated on these islands here, and there's the division between the islands. And we've got this building here, which I believe is a sort of spiral staircasey type area. Oh, don't fall, you silly. Thankfully there's vines here to catch you if you fall. Alright, let's go up here. Here's our viewing platform type area, and you can see this entire build from here. And I believe I situated this build just outside of my house, down the waterway from my house. I situated it down here. So here's our little viewing area. Let's go down here. Okay. This is the other way to go down, besides those stairs down there. You can come down here to this garden type area. Sort of like a greenhouse, I guess. And I blocked this off because you can actually fall down that way. Alright, here's our next area. It's a lovely build. I actually really like this build. And here we are in the last building. This is where I would situate a bedroom if I had the choice to do so. Anyways, we're going to jump down and go down here. This is also a cute area. I would put like a bar down here by the stairs. It's very pretty. This is the downward area from up there. The H up here. So there's that build. There's the stairs that would have taken me down here. So that's that build. Shut all doors. I really should put switches in here, or sensors. And we have, last but not least, the bog water thing that I decided to use instead of the other water. And it actually goes down this way. And you can fall down the waterfall and land in the water. Okay, so we're going to swim down this way. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by cone-shaped bottom that made you fall all the time. Because by perspective, this build is held down by a bunch of chains. Right there. It's being anchored down by these chains. But this cone shape of the islands themselves makes it very difficult to start the build. But once you get to the flat surface where the houses are, it ends up staying in one place. So it ends up having a flat surface to walk on, and you end up essentially being able to build everything safely up there. And I actually had teleporters up there several times to make sure that I don't have to climb all this way or fly all that way, because it was very difficult to land on a small surface. So let's teleport back home, and I'll be right back. I'm going to check on my dogs. Stop it. Alright, ladies and gents, my apologies. I think the neighbors were taking a walk. So, here we are, back at home. Alright. So, we've been to visit everywhere. I'll briefly show you Elf Dane's house. But again, he hasn't really given me permission to show his builds or his house or anything like that. And he doesn't have much in my world. I don't know if he has any in his, but he does have a small house, I think with like a Russian flag and a viewing area. So here's our spot. There's the Russian colors. And he's got like downstairs areas and upstairs areas. It's a lovely build, but it has lots of eccentric colors, which you'll see, once I get to certain builds in certain spots. You can see his house from there, so I'll definitely point that out for you. Here's an excellent use of the swirly stone wall. It's a very nice stone wall there. Boink. Back home we go. Alright. Let's take a look here. I'm waiting for something to load real quick. Yep, I figured as much. Darn it. Everything keeps clicking out. Okay, here we go. So here we are back in the build. I'm not going to show these 4 teleporters because they're very obviously the 4 corners of my world. And I will show you the main map. So one teleporter is located somewhere here in the jungle. One of them is located here, probably somewhere on a mountain. Another one is located down in this corner, and the last one is located somewhere on the border between these 2 spots. But I figured I would put teleporters on different corners of the world because where my house is, which is right there, it's sometimes hard to get to different biomes. I have a lot near me, which is good. But say I want to get more of something, I can teleport here and go to this canyon biome, or teleport up here and go to these canyon biomes. And in doing so, I can unlock my entire map eventually. I have not actually had a chance to unlock my entire map. And part of that is because I haven't really had to travel all that much. And I ended up in the middle once because there was like a glitch where when you opened the game and you opened your world, you automatically, for some reason, spawned in the center of the world versus the spawn point that you set. In my case, my spawn point for new people that come to visit should be the gazebo. That should be where I set it. So off we go. Let's visit some of our biomes. And we're going to go in a semi-orderly fashion. First thing I'm going to show you is the mountains. And this is an obvious thing, but mountains have a slightly different stone called peak stone. And there's also several creatures only found here, which would be the Rambos. And they're found up in the snowy mountains up high. So here we are. And this should be just outside of Aleph Dane's house. I believe it is. Let me see, where is he? Should be on the other side of his house. His house is that way, I believe, towards home. So here's our mountainous area. Here's Peakstone. It's dark, grayish toned. This will also spawn a bunch of Rambos, as you saw near the Holiday Village. There was a Rambo platform to spawn the Rambos down below. They spawn on this stone, so if you leave it uncovered, just like this, then you will spawn Rambos, which I don't know that you want. This is just normal stone. So up here, there's a chicken. The Chizard thing. There's a Rambo. Let's go visit the Rambo. Show you this little dude. He's one of my favorite creatures in this game. I like how small he is, how cute his little teeth are, and they give some really good resources. They give molasses, which is very, very useful for the holiday recipes. But of course, you'll see when we beat the Troggington traps, we'll get a bunch of molasses anyway. So off we go. Up the mountain. It gets cold up here, and the temperature gauge says 11 degrees. That's about right. So here we go. Let's go back to our teleporter. Back to our teleporter. So mountains often look like this. Sometimes it's an isolated mountain or two. And if you destroy a mountain, you'll find a whole bunch of ore in the middle. Normally that's obsidian and coal. You'll find those 2 ores most abundantly. If you go lower into the cave systems, which I'll show later, there is an iron ore that you can find there. In the lava section, you find diamond ore, and down in corruption, you find limonite, which I will show you each of those. But for right now, I don't see any here, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave. But sometimes you can find coal just randomly on the surface. And when we visit caves, I'm going to show you some cave entrances where you can actually find obsidian just laying around. And it's just kind of there. And you have to have an extractor to get it out. Okay, off we go. There's the mountains. Next is the swamp and haunted house. Now, some of these did have builds with them. The only place I refuse to build is in the corruption zone, because it is a very volatile area and you can't protect yourself. Then there's the savannah. We have tundras with the gingerbread house, which I'll show off in there. And jungle state robot. That's another one I really, really liked. Uh-oh, we're missing one. I believe this is the lava zone. Or the cave system. I think it's the cave system. There we go. And yep, I got it all settled. Right, so I forgot a sign. Thankfully I had a spare in my hand. Okay, so off we go. We're going to go down here to the swamp. Oh, here we go. Got our haunted house build from Halloween. I'm not going to show that because it's not Halloween anymore, but also because it's been shown so many times in other people's builds. But this is where you find a lot of bog water and various plants that are only indigenous to this area. And this guy, the feral pigsy. That's the other version of pigsy that I forgot about. The feral pigsy. And then there's also a jungle area where you find feral pigsies. But this is what swamps look like. There's a mossy, sort of weepwood tree with the weepwood leaves, which are kind of like a weeping willow kind of look to them. And then we have lily pads, which I wish you could stand on, but you cannot. And this guy, he's also found in the jungle as well as in the mossy areas of the swamp. So there we go, that's the swamp type area. And you can find these cattails over here. Yeah. There's the swamp. Let's go over here. And if I'm facing a wall right now, that's because I just installed everything, so I might have to move the locations of the... Yep. Okay, let's go backwards. There we go. So I have to move the location of that one, because you come out of the teleporter the way you go in. So, I've got full hands at the moment. Let's go down and visit this storage unit, and then we'll finish off the end. Oh, a lot of lagging. Okay, here's one thing I wanted to show you guys. The disappearing wall trick with the phasers. They make a wall appear and reappear, and you can lock somebody in there. So here's our storage unit. As you remember before, I had a finite number of chests and a whole row of these guys, the forges and the processors. I had a whole row of these, but I had to change things because I really liked the organization I had in Ephemer's world. So I copied it along with all the formatting on the signs, which makes me very happy. So, I have all of my stuff here, but what's in my hand is mostly animal products, so I'll show you where those go. So, we're going to go over here. This is all of our crafted blocks, signs, and decorative items, as well as holiday things. Here's the medieval chest and the hidden temple chest. Those two, I don't currently own the recipe to make more, but they're very cute looking. So off we go to the next area over this way. Okay, so this is where I store all of my animal products as well as anything else I need to store. I have some spare buckets for other things that may come up. I have mushrooms, flowers, grasses, and these, on this wall alone, are all items you find in various biomes. So, for example, I've got a seashell. That goes over here with this biome. So I have seashells. And then over here I've got cacti, and I've got coral. Coral currently has no use. Neither does this, which is called sinew. Oh, I have some in my hand. Put the leather back, and there's the leather from that guy. Blue animals. I have several pieces of those in here. Okay. And then we've got red animals. Some of them are down below, some of them are up here. Oh, wait a minute. Got that one too. Green animals. I don't have any. Vines. Okay. Bones. And I'll put the rest away, and oh, we have molasses in our hand. Molasses normally goes in with the liquids, but because of the season right now, I keep it over here with the holiday stuff. Just so I can find it easier. So let's put everything back in its home. Oh, there's goo. And then we'll come back later to pick up all the stuff we need for the holiday build. For the holiday, event. Alright. Yeah, I have loads and loads of wood. They changed the stack number too, from 99 to 300, which I think is very convenient. Because I have a lot of obsidian. I have so much that it doesn't fit in just the one box. Let's make sure I don't have any in here. I don't. Put this back in with the stone. I need to gather more stone eventually. And off we go back to the back door. Oops. A lot of lag going on today. This is the stairway down to my corruption spawner, as well as a cave-related spawner. That one actually activates about 7:30 a.m. game time, which is not right now. So I don't have any way of showing that to you. So plants. I keep plants and growing items out here. Whereas in Ephemera's world, I kept a lot of it indoors or near the cooking stations, excuse me. So here we go. So here we are. Let's go back. Oops. There we go. Let's go back in and explore corruption. Now, one of these we're not going to be visiting because it leads to a path, and I have to remember the way down from there. And I don't really want to think about that one. So let's visit corruption number 1, which I believe is my first ever corruption spawn point. I could be wrong, but let's take a look. Yep. This is the first spawn point I ever built. What in the world is that? Uh-oh, we have a glitch here. That is not supposed to happen. Interesting. Let's go back out of our teleporter and go back in. That should not happen. I'm going to take a screenshot of that so I can send it off for investigation. So off we go. Here we are in the corruption zone. As you can see, I have a purple meter down here, which indicates that there's corruption going on here. But here is an interesting factoid. If you enter mineral water, you will still heal, even in a corruption zone. So I'm not going to go thing hunting down here because it's really scary, and I'd rather not be down here if I can help it. But mineral water, it has healing properties. Ouch. Corrupted water will actually hurt you, which it's doing to me right now. If that purple meter gets full, you end up taking damage. Alright. And I will have this taken care of eventually, because I may end up trying to place something on top, and it might actually fix that. So I'll repair that another time. Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Uh-oh, we have a broken teleporter. Okay, so let me fix that. These are teleporter codes. And before I do that, let me try to place something in here. That's bizarre. Okay, let's put the teleporter here instead. Okay, and I should enter sideways. And out. There we go. So like I said, all of these were placed recently, so I haven't had a chance to rotate them or check on them. But anyways, on to corruption number 2. Here we are. This is the one I'm not going to explore because I have to go down that way and almost spiral around to get to the entrance to corruption in that area. So I'm not going to be going down that way. So let's jump back in and go back home and explore the next area. And I'm checking settings over here. Hopefully it sounds good too, because I removed the problematic microphone and I made sure that you could hear the music in the background. Matter of fact, let me go and add more music. Hopefully that'll sound pretty good. Alright, and last corruption area. Let's see where this takes me. I think this was the corruption area that I discovered in a completely opposite end from where I live. That way I can spawn brand new things. And this one should be down here. Here's our door to Lava Land, which I can show you. Oh, you see that shine right there? That's diamond. That's natural diamond right there. And you have to put an extractor on there to take it out of this state. Any other way and it doesn't come out. There's liquid lava. Don't want to step in that or I'll burn. I've got a burn counter at the moment because I'm in a hot area. Temperature is 160 some odd degrees. Then down here is the next corruption zone. And I built stairs down here. I'm not going to go all the way down. But more corruption. You see that pink shining right there? That pink shiny is actually... I'm making down. Oh, I landed in the water. Uh-oh. That is lumite. Live lumite. I also cannot extract that at the moment because I don't have any extractors in my hand, so I can't take that at the moment. Sometimes lava also spills down in here. But still, again, I don't want to be down here for too long, so let's teleport back home. And we'll go from there. Drink break. Alright. We're almost done, actually, because there's not really that much more to show. And the next thing we're going to do is do some leafy elfy battles to get some of the holiday stuff. And I can show you how those work. Sadly, one of those things, you have to read the bottom of it to know what you're looking for. Anybody who does not speak English, that one type of challenge might be difficult. Some of my friends have actually figured out that they can use, they can read certain words and know what they're looking for. So next is Savannah. I know, I live next to a Savannah. Why did I need a teleporter there? Well, simply because I wanted a way to go straight to a Savannah to get resources I needed and not just to my own backyard. Because I live on the edge of a Savannah, and it's a very small Savannah area. So this one is clear across the world underneath one of these parchwood trees. So it's bordering a jungle. So if I need another jungle, I've got another teleporter that way. There's our little rat friends. And this is the other guy I wanted to show you guys. He is one of my least favorite. Oh, here's a couple. He's my least favorite in this game. Because the only thing you can really get from them are the tusks. You used to be able to get hooves from them, but I don't really remember. Anyways, you can also eat mushrooms to gain health, which is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, these guys and the fiery rats, the shrews, are the two things that are found in this area, indigenous to this biome. Alright. Been streaming a little over an hour now. Hopefully everything's still saved in the recordings. Alright. Uh-oh. Another bad teleporter. Let's move it over. Because it'll keep tossing me back into the teleporter. And I won't be able to get it out. Let's try that direction. I just did an about face, and hopefully it changed the direction it's facing. Or I have to put a block showing me what direction to enter the teleporter. So we'll see what happens with that. There we go. Facing forward. Next, we have tundra and we have jungle. And then I'll show you the cave systems briefly. And we'll jump into the holiday event. So let's keep going. Tundra. Tundra taiga is also known as the snowy front. It's a very Russian-looking area. And I decided to build the gingerbread house in there, and I'll build the ice castle somewhere near there on the snow. Excuse me. Here we go. I put the teleporter in the thing on top of the, on top of a mountain that I liked. So it's very dark in here. I'm thinking that's okay, because you can see the house very well. Oh. Yet another indicator here that I'm freezing. It's 26 degrees, so it's below freezing. It's going to do that. But watch what happens when I start flying and land down here. It's above freezing, so I'm not going to freeze to death. So here's our friend, gingerbread house. Oh, and look! Leafy showed up. This guy, you can trade presents for various items with him, and recipes too. As you can tell, I have all the recipes, so I don't need to be searching for any more of those. But anyways, let's take a look at our gingerbread house, again featuring my favorite glass. There's the yellow glass right up there, and we've got all of these lights here. Lovely little interior. Oh, hi friend, did you get stuck in here? It's also nighttime, so a lot of nighttime creatures are coming in. You can put the chizzard gizzards in a forge, and you can get some questionable jerky. I don't think you can eat these as they are. You have to actually put them in a food item. Another mushroom. So here's our little area. Okay, and the side of this building has same windows with 2 lights. And I actually figured out a way to put down the roof tile. Basically, you leave a space of 1 block so you can put the chimney in. It actually looks like it's burning. And over in Ephemer's World, I used this chimney to create a sort of hot geyser effect. And I might do something similar to that, kind of off to the side of this build, just so that you can actually come back down and land in like a healing pool. So there we go, there's that. And also, if you keep going in this area, you can eventually get to a flat area up this way that is basically frozen ocean. That's where we're going to be on when we fight for our leafy presents, leafy elfy presents. Let's fly back up to our base here. Boink. Excuse me. Easy. Loading screen. And once again, I want to say Happy New Year to anybody who is celebrating New Year right now. Hopefully you guys had a good one. And are going to start off this next year very, very well. Next, we have a very special area. just to preface the story, a part of my forest burned down, and that's before we had the ability to control fire spread. So part of this jungle burnt down, and so I had to take out almost everything that was there. There's a whole bunch of debris left, like flowers and honey, which for some reason didn't burn up in the fire. But I decided that I wanted to build something really cool in that spot, but I didn't know what. Well, they came out with the industrial set, and with that, they came out with the robot build. But long before that, they came up with something called the Garden Estate, which is this build right here. I'm not going to show too much of it, but basically it's a little house that has a library and everything, and you can take a look around it. I did part of my adventure here, and there was, one of the checkpoints was on the table here. I like the use of reinforced glass as windows. It doesn't look like it does in the picture, but that's what it is. It's reinforced glass used as windows, which I never thought to do before. So here we go. Let's keep going. Oh, there's a bed. What time is it? It's 3:02 a.m. Let's sleep so you can see the robot. There we go. Early morning time. Yeah, let's shut the door. And come back this way. Uh-oh. Should have shut the doors before I went anywhere. I really need to put sensors in these doors, because I always forget to shut them behind me. It's the funniest thing. Okay, here we go. Here's our robot friend. He's got an arm right here, and he's got an arm resting on his knee, and one leg spread out. So he's just kind of lounging. But if you can tell, I'm going to stand up here for a second. I still have bits and pieces of burnt forest up there. Here's his face. And every joint in this project has a bunch of moving gears in it, which I think is just the neatest thing. And here's his foot. I mean, he's a giant, literally a giant robot. And he fits perfectly in the spot where everything burned down, just in this slot. I was able to turn off fire spread, and so it didn't spread to these areas. So I built the robot there. As you can see, there's my homestead right there. So we're not far from home, but I figured, let's do our thing. Okay, so we've got robot friend. Excuse me. One of my favorite things about... One of my favorite things about this robot friend is this laboratory back here, where there's an observational area. There's a bunch of processors, and you can actually, you can actually climb up this way to climb up to the central area where there's like a boiler room type of thing, and up here, this area. Now, this is where things get complicated, because you can only go up there, but there's nothing past here. There's nowhere to go past here. So, I'm going to go back down and go over here, fly over to his hand. Try not to fall through the holes. Hey, friend. Come here. Oh, poison indicator. This is another indicator that only lasts about 10 seconds, and it's basically that you're poisoned. At least you still have your health, and it just knocks parts of your health off. And one, and there we go. We are done. So let's keep going. There's actually a section up here in his head. So we're going to go up this way. And there's his neck and his head. His head actually has a locker room type area. And then there's a ladder somewhere that takes you up there. I believe it's here somewhere. That's a ladder going down. And we're back down here. Okay, so we can actually get up there using this ladder right here. And there's another ladder, I think, inside here. Please forgive me, I have not been inside this build in a very long time. There's the ladder. I have not been here in a while. So let's go up this way. And there's our control room. There's our control room, where you can actually sit down and supposedly control what he sees in his eyes and everything. But I highly doubt that. And I like the use of picture frames here to indicate that you're looking out at various biomes and what he's seeing. And I wish I could add my own pictures to these frames, but I can't. So anyways, that's that. And all these industrial parts are very, very cool. Same thing as the number pad as before. Same thing with these as before. This one is a bit easier to see. This one is a switch, on and off. And there's more gears in his head. So let's go down and fly away from our friend here. So there's our robot-y friend. And his heart is made of gears as well. So let's see if I can fly into the teleporter. I cannot. Alright. So here we are back home. Let's let it load. There's all my animals. Loading issues. That's a big thing. But I'm also streaming, so sometimes the loading issues happen like that. So off we go to the last thing, which is the cave system. And then we're going to go down and grab our stuff, and I'm going to battle some leafy stuff for a bit, and then I'm going to leave you guys and go prepare for my New Year's. So here's our cave system. This was the very first teleporter I ever put into the game, and this was also my first entrance right here. It was my first entrance to both lava and corruption, so that was the first time I ever experienced both. But over here, I built a cave system, and down that way too. To reach various materials. So here we go, is the entrance to that. That leads to another cave area down there, which is kind of boring, but up here is even better. So let's look up here. I have a fun little area right here. This used to catch a bunch of mirrors. I'd have like 6 or 10 of them at a time. And they would end up stuck in that little corner. Down here is my first encounter with this water here, the mineral water. And I absolutely love caves after that. So off we go, back up here. And just for reference, we're only 2 blocks tall. If you look right here, look at my person. My person's only 2 blocks tall. So the fact that all these materials are bigger than my head is kind of surprising. And I'm kind of a little person in a very large world, basically. I dug this down so I could find more iron. I found a little bit, but iron is probably the hardest thing to find. I did the same thing over here. Iron is found in this sort of area with all the caves, stalactites, and siltstones. It's found in that level, in that layer of the world. So there we go. I don't think I have any ores lying around, because I'm pretty sure I got all of them. But there's loads and loads of cave systems here. I still use this on occasion to get, like, stone or whatever I need to gather stone. And the fastest way to gather stone or any of these materials is to use what's called an excavator. Excuse me. Let me show you what that is. Okay, so an excavator is this thing right here. Excavators eat up about a 7x7 area of block, and as you can tell, they cost a lot of high-level materials like lumite and diamond rods to make the very advanced one. Which is why I'm glad they added them into the prize packs for when you're beating the Troggington traps. You can still get some of these from there. And the basic one still uses iron, which is still very, very expensive, but this is the quickest way to excavate a large area at a time. But this extractor thing is what you need to get ores out of walls, like that diamond we saw earlier. So here we go. So that's another like empty cave type area. We're gonna go back from whence we came, and hopefully, yeah, if I add stairs here, it'd be easier to get in and out. But I haven't added stairs. So let's find my teleporter again. There it is. This area down here was also one of the first times I encountered tar. So that was a way to encounter it. There is a corruption hole here that I sealed up, but if you keep digging right here, you'll end up in corruption eventually. So let's go this way. Tar cave, here we go. So this is where you have to do a bit of walking to get to the tar, but I believe it's over here to the left. Yep, there's the arrow indicating go left. So we go this way and go left. And tar should be up here. And, by the way, you can swim in mineral water and you won't die. Okay, so go left, tar waterfall. There it is. It's right there. That black substance. There's tar. And the nice thing about liquids in this game is that they are infinite. See, watch. It'll fill itself here in a minute. Tar is also very, very slow to fill itself in. Yeah, but it does eventually fill itself in. Must be having lag issues. There it goes, see? Liquids fill themselves in. So let's swim back left, and this time right, because we went left twice. So let's go back this way. And I put a bunch of lights here so that I could eventually find my way home. I believe it's this way. And I'll be darned if I can't find my way back, because I've been through these caves a million times. And by the way, walking around in areas like this, you can spot iron ore very, very easily. It's in a rustic orange color. Because I haven't spotted any, I haven't pointed it out. But, here we go, there's our teleporter. Oh no. Okay, cool. I thought we were facing the wrong way. So that's the last of the world items. Let's go down and collect what we need to fight the leafies, and I'll show you a few rounds of that, so you can kind of see a few of the different battles that you can fight. So let's put away our stuff and go from there. So a moment while I put away my items. Okay, and off we go to the Christmas area to see if we can get, oh, there's trog traps. And let's see if I put the, oh, I need those snowballs. And we also need healing potions, because some of the higher level stuff tends to hit you very hard. And I am going to grab some, uh-oh, I don't have any more. Let's make some stun bombs, shall we? Okay, so we need gunpowder, leather, and chizzer gizzards. Well, we know where those are. Here's some gunpowder. Here's some chizzer gizzard is green. There's chizzer gizzard, and what else did we need? Oh, let's exit out of these ones. Stun bombs. Leather. We need leather, which is over here in the corner. And we craft. Need a few hundred of those, because those ones are useful for the Troggington character, because he is very, very strong. Just make sure I didn't lose anything anywhere else. No, I didn't. Let's put the gunpowder away before I go boom. Okay. Also, something I wanted to show you guys is this sort of tunnel that I built underneath the longhouse that runs directly to the back end of the house, and to either side you can exit. But I'm really very happy with the way that turned out. So now we go back upstairs. We're all prepared for a fight. I have 22 trog traps. And out of those come the... Oh, excuse me. Out of those come the medium level and the hard level ones. Tier 2 and 3 comes out of there. So, since we need a cold area, we're going to go into the tundra taiga area. And we're going to fly until we see an iced over ocean. Now, I could choose to do that, or I could go... Oh dear. Looks like we're having issues here. Still recording. Still streaming. There we go. Got the internet back. I don't know why the internet keeps on bonking out on us, but let's go back in and see if my stream will start itself back up. Let's see if it'll start itself back up. The recording's continuing, though. So that means I'll have the entire recording, even if the stream didn't work out very well. So that's the good news about OBS. Got reconnected, and we're going to be live on Twitch again. Let's go back live on Twitch again. Brief moment. Alright, we're back. Oh, oops. There we are. Okay. So we're back home again. And I'm going to try to remember if I had a frozen ocean behind my house. I think I do. So let's fly directly to our next destination. Because we need a frozen ocean to defeat these things. So I believe that's where we're headed. We're headed south of where we're located. Ah, see, I remembered. I have a tundra type taiga area right near here. So now fly out here to a nice spot. And this is also where I farmed ice. I'm gonna go out here. There we go. So when you come out here to this type of area, you instantly will see Leafy Present Dude show up. Leafy Elfie. So let's go ahead and turn down the music just slightly. Okay, there's our Leafy Present guy. He shows up in 4 different directions if you hang out here. Okay, so we're gonna start beating the trog traps, and I picked this area because it's solid snow. Whereas down there, it was just snow on top of ice, and I don't really want that. I want to be able to put down a trog trap without having to put ice back down, or snow back down. So here we are. There's a trog trap. We've got the snowball target practice, so I don't need my sword for that. Put that away. Let's gather my snowballs. I clearly don't need any, but I like gathering spares anyway. This one's relatively easy. I like standing in the middle of the box and throwing directly at any of these shields that pop up. And these targets actually face you no matter which way you're facing. See? That one just turned to face me. So if you're facing towards it, it will face towards you. And one thing I don't like is the counter at the bottom there, the orange label, that basically says you can't throw anything until that goes down. That's kind of a disadvantage, I think. But we have to get through 8 waves of these guys. Oh, there's one. Oh, I missed it. There we go. Let's keep hitting these guys. Just keep hitting that. Oh, there we go. Whoop. Oh, there we go. We beat it. We have a present. So we have a medium level trog trap, 6 presents, and a gingerbread loaf, and 2 more healing potions. Now, what's even better is if you can find chests laying around, which are just little presents laying around. They actually have more of the holiday presents in them than the Trog event. Let's see if I can find one. Should spawn near here somewhere. There's our little leafy fella. I should spawn a new thing out here. Sometimes it spawns like near me while I'm doing the Trog event. So let's keep beating Trogs, and I guess I'll shut this down at 5 instead of 6. That way I have extra time to prepare for New Year's. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot something at my house. I have a freeze indicator, meaning I'm going to freeze to death. So, we need to teleport back home and go all the way downstairs to the potions box and get my anti-freeze potions. Freeze resist potions. Okay, so let's go downstairs and get freeze resist. Otherwise, I will freeze to death out here doing these events. Let's go to potions. There they are. Freeze effect potions. Okay, so I'm gonna move this upstairs. I can toss those, but I get more every time. Okay, so I need to organize myself a little better. Okay, so first potions, health potions of all kinds. Then projectiles. Then the different traps. There we go. Key to this whole game and anything you want to do in this game is organizing yourself. Which is why I've decided to expand my base and make it humongous. So here we go. We've got... Let's see, what else we got? Oh, we gotta fly back to our area. And it's okay that it's nighttime. It's totally okay. Nighttime does not affect hardly at all what you get in the Trog traps. Matter of fact, you can see things really well at night. So I'm glad that it turned nighttime. I love the sky in this game too. It's absolutely beautiful. There's like Milky Ways and stars. Ooh. Let's keep going. Okay. Almost there. Need to go directly south of me. Yeah. So this time I'm gonna land a little bit sooner and walk around a bit and hopefully find a chest to show you what comes with the chests. They just randomly spawn in the area. Oh, there's one. There's a present. I like this one. I wish they could make us a craftable version of this one because I really like it. But this one gives you a bunch of this and 12 rescue toys, whereas the other one gave you only 6. I think it should be the other way around. So off we go to our flat area over here. And Leafy Friend is going to show up. There he is. He's the guy you can trade with, which I'm going to do at the end. So here we are in a good spot. Not too far from a Leafy. Elfie. That pigsy is going to freeze to death. Because it's not of this biome. So now you see we've got our freeze indicator. So let's take our potion. We have 10 minutes of freeze protection. Which is kind of handy. So here we go. Here's another. I Spy. This is one of my favorites. I used to really not like this one because it's so difficult, but I read at the bottom and it tells me exactly what I need. This one says I need a Leafy only wearing a holiday hat. There he is. Okay, Chizard wearing only a bow tie. Need a Chizard with only a bow tie. Where'd he go? There he is. This level doesn't indicate any kind of size. Holiday hat and a bow tie. Holiday hat and a bow tie. And anything that's a frozen character that hits me will leave freeze damage, but at least I'm protected from the environment when I take that one potion. So I'm clearing my hand, so I have it all in my hand. So once again, we have 8 here, a medium Trog Trap, a Stun Bomb, and now a Fire Bomb. Word of warning, don't throw that here, because Fire Bombs actually burn through anything frozen and you're left with a pit. I don't want to ruin my world, so I don't throw those around lightly. One of those actually started the fire in the jungle. So let's go to the next one. Sometimes you get the same thing again. Snowball target practice. So we don't need the sword for that. This one's easy enough. Let's grab our snowballs and toss them. And I just keep twisting around. Oops. Sometimes you can hit 2 at the same time, which is convenient. And 30 seconds left. And there we are. We've beaten our last thing. There we go. So I got a frigid pie that time. Those ones are very, very good. They increase your max health, and you can get more 150 plus. So if I get more of those, I'll keep eating them. And off we go to the next one. I love the music in this game. Very nice. I Spy. Here we go. So let's do... Okay, Leafy, only a holiday hat. Leafy, only a holiday hat. There it is. In the harder level one, the I Spy event is like several different characters. Chizard wearing only a bow tie. And it actually gives you color indicators. There he is. There's a Spy. And one more. Holly hat and a bow tie. And this time it's a Leafy. There he is. So there we go. There's our present. And see, we don't earn nearly as many traded toys, rescue toys, as we did in the chests that you find in the world. So here we go. Ooh, stamina potion. I'm gonna hang on to that. That is one of the extractors. Because they're so dang expensive, I usually keep them with me and extract whatever I find. Matter of fact, down somewhere, there's a light where I had found a cave. I think it's that way. South of where I am. I found a cave and I put a light there. That's where I found a lot of the resources I currently have in this world. So, excuse me, next. Okay, I Spy again. Okay, Chizard wearing only a holiday hat. Chizard, the blue character. Holly hat, there he is. He didn't have a bow tie. The only thing that's hard to see is the Leafies with the bow ties. But you can spot them with a holiday hat anytime. There he is. He even matches. Color coordinated red. And one more. Holiday hat and a bow tie, Chizard. Holiday hat and a bow tie. There he is. Yay. Got more. Ooh, frigid soup. It adds 150 max health. And you can eat as many as you want and increase your health as much as you want. I've increased my health to 1,300 so that I have enough health to keep me going. So, next, I Spy again. See, it does a lot of the same event in a row. Leafy only a holiday hat. They spawn close to me sometimes, too. Gizzard wearing only a bow tie. And Leafy in a holiday hat and a bow tie. And also, in the harder ones, I Spy doesn't tell you what kind of creature it is. And it also tells you just what color the hats are or the bow ties are that they're wearing. So that you can figure it out from there. Oh, there's our excavator. And because I don't need the speed one yet, I'm going to start the second tier. To show you guys the second and then the third. King of Chill. Okay, King of the Chill is guarding this area here. At night, you see this lovely design. Uh-oh. Got an attacker. Got an attacker. And wait for somebody else to show up. And this particular thing, it's okay to have 0 capturing. Because as you defeat things in the ring, such as this guy, it says losing and then it says capturing. Sometimes they do drop loot, which is also good. You want to be able to kill as much as you can to drop loot. So let's see what else pops up. All these guys are going on fire because it's daytime, so they're not around during daytime. So they go on fire and vanish. Oh, there we go. 47 seconds left and we've got this dude flying around. Sometimes with these, I use a stun bomb. So we've got a freeze bomb, advanced distractor, some toys, and a snow thief. And we've got more stuff. These you can throw at enemies in this area and you're fine. But sometimes they drop stuff, so if you can kill something in the ring, go for it. Hate when the game does this. The last 10 seconds, it throws something at me. There we go. 2, 1, and this will magically turn into a present. There it is. So we got 3 potions, an excavator that's useless because it's a level 1 excavator, so it can only excavate like surface blocks, so I usually toss those. Got this freeze bomb, and we've got the rescued toys. So now that we've rescued a bunch of toys, we want to trade these in with Leafy, and he's over there, and there's more right there. So we can trade with him. Let's see, we can't really buy any recipes, we don't need them. But one of my favorite potions is the Blizzard Potion. When you drink it, your character can fly high in the air, and when it lands, you don't take damage. You can also buy the Christmas tree, which was in the gazebo in my world. In my, city center. Here's the Shuriken, which is a new item. And a Blizzard Bomb, which is a new item, or the picture's been redone. But that's one of the newer items. This one's just called Jingle Juice, and it just puts bells everywhere in your field of view, which, I don't know, I don't like anything in my field of view. There's also a bat one that came out for Halloween that does the same. So I'm going to buy 10 frigid soups, so I can add to my max health count, and make myself stronger. So I can't add any more now, but if I end up losing health too much, I might be able to. So I think the maximum I can have is 1,300 at the moment. So let's heal up, and let's do another one of these, so I can get one of the gold ones. Get to the capture points. So these ones, you stand in the capture point, and you fight things that come at you until it reaches 100. And then you can run. So 100% captured. Now we run to the next one. This is one of those thingies I use the stun bombs for. And that way I can defeat this guy without him stunning me back. 80%, 90% captured. Okay. He can come at me if he wants to. So 2 and Fres bomb captured. Next point. There's the next point. So I have to capture 5 of these in the allotted time. Oh, one more. Down here. Now, if these guys hit you over the head hard enough, you end up, shocked into, like, a paralysis. All done. So let's see if we got a gold one. We did. We got the large trog trap. Okay, so I'm gonna prepare this trog trap. I need to use a lot of stun bombs just in case something gnarly comes out of there. And let's heal up for a moment. There we go. And let's put this guy down, and I'll fight one of these for you. And then I'm going to let you guys go about 5:30. So let's see what we got. Get to the capture point. Oh, gosh. There we go. This one I've not done in the hard level yet. And if they stun me, my apologies. Next point, behind me. So I stand here, and I have to do this a total of 6 times. Next is over here. Hopefully I'll win this one, because there's the questionable jerky that you can make with the forge. Ow. Jesus, guys. Okay. This is where I just throw bombs and hope for the best. Because I'm about to win that... spawn point. Where's the other one? There it is. Okay, there's a present on the horizon. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of hits. Let's heal. Last one. Last one. There we go. 9, 8, 7. I'll make it. Make these guys stop throwing snowballs at me. There we go. I made it. So the last level gives you a whole bunch of stuff. That's the questionable jerky I was talking about, where you can actually put the Chisor Gizzard in a forge and get that. This is another rare item. It's an infused crystal, and you get it from putting tourmaline in a forge. But I'm glad they're giving these out as well, because they're very useful crafting items. So there we go. That's what we got. Let's do a few light ones, and then we'll end the stream. I saw a present over here somewhere, I think. I thought I did. Did I? I don't know if I did or not. I thought I saw one down here somewhere. But I couldn't get it because I was in the middle of a battle. So let's see what we can come up with. I'm pretty sure I didn't see any. No. That's odd. Sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't. And sometimes it's the edge of the terrain like that showing up and it looks like a present. Okay, so let's do some regular ones. Easy enough. I Spy. Alright. Leafy wearing a holiday hat. Okay. Chizard wearing a bow tie. Chizard wearing a bow tie. There it is. Okay. And Leafy in a holiday hat and a bow tie. Holiday hat and a bow tie. There it is. It's almost always the same combination of things as well. Brief moment. Ladies and gents. Okay, let's do some more. I've got about 15 more minutes, and then I've got to wrap things up. I'm going to wrap up a little early because I have so much to do. Snowball fight. Okay, this one is a fight against those mirrors that throw snowballs at you, but these die after one hit, which is convenient enough. So here's all our snowballs in my hand. Once again, I'm going to stand in the middle. Oh, and this time jump anytime one of those guys shoots something at me. And they die after one hit. So you just have to get rid of them all. Die! Come on. Die. Didn't hit him right. So I have to get through 5 waves of this. And I take an awful lot of damage in this particular battle because they're really obnoxiously strong. Almost got him. It's that delay that makes it difficult to shoot the targets. Okay, got him. Alright. Got 6 extra snowballs. Okay, let's do a few more of the regular type. And just keep adding up for next time. I Spy event. Chiseled only holiday hat. There it is. It's more confusing in the other levels. Alright. Leafy wearing a holiday hat and a bow tie. There it is. And Chiseled in a holiday hat and a bow tie. There we go. Coming along in the world. And I stocked all these up for a while, which is why there's so many in my hand. I Spy again. We got this. Only a holiday hat. Leafy, only a holiday hat. There it is. Chiseled, only bow tie. Holiday hat and bow tie. Leafy. There we go. Capture all the points. This is the one where you have to capture points very quickly. So, gotta look around and find the point and run. 1, 2, next. 1, 2, next. 1, 2, next. You do this 10 times. This one's the easiest because you don't need to fight anything. Just fantastic. 1, 2. This is where I would also use the stamina boosty, because then you can not lose as much stamina and keep running to get to the points. Sometimes they're clear across the board from each other. Sometimes they're like this, right next to each other. So it just depends. Oh, it gave it to me after 9. What do you know? Okay, so there we go. Let's see. We got stamina boosties. Ooh, let's beat some more of these guys. Okay, so what else? I have loads of extras just in case I run out of these. And I crafted a bunch just so I'd have them. I like the snow effect. I wish they could keep it for this biome. But when you enter this biome, it starts snowing. Blink, and we're done. Okay, so let's do another. See which one it is. Pining for You. I don't like this one in particular because the pine trees are 3 times my size. But you have to chop down all the trees for this one. Sometimes I don't get this one done because there's so many trees. Twenty seconds, I got it. And we're done. There we go. Got just a few more of these. I spy. Okay. Lizard wearing only a holiday hat. There he is. Leafy wearing a holiday hat and a bow tie. It's usually the same combination of both. Oh, I can swim. Excuse me. It's blue this time. And Lizard holiday hat, bow tie. There it is. And we're good. So to go capture all the points, 10 points. I know it's probably kind of boring watching someone running around like this, but I think it's a cool game. It has some really neat mechanics in it, and they add new stuff every holiday. So every event I've ever seen, they add more to it. Uh-oh. Let me take this before I freeze to death. There we go. In this particular exercise, you run around a lot. So sometimes I'll spawn like a present nearby. So these are the Arctech, some of the Arctech pieces, they glow blue. Because that Arctech stone I showed you guys that the Keepas have. Well, you can make special things from them, so it's good to have them. Okay, I'm going to toss that because I don't need it. And the rest of these are good. Ugh, excuse me, it's cold. Okay, let's take some more of that. And that. There we go. Okay. Let's do one more trap. 1 or 2 more. All my targets. And I purposefully stand on top of the box because when it vanishes, I can feel it turning into a present and it drops me downward. Oh no, got disconnected again. And this one's timed anyway. So let's see if it'll reload back in. Lots of technical difficulties today. Thankfully, I'm recording this whole thing, so it will record a copy of it in my folder, and I can just upload it to YouTube. It may take time to render, but at least it'll work. Let's hope that our thing reconnects. OBS reconnected. So we're still streaming. And it should come back around. I lost that one. Should come back around for the next moment. Alright, and I believe we're back at it. Okay, so here we are in the frozen tundra area. My internet keeps knocking out, so I will be ending the stream at exactly 5:30, just because I want to figure out why the internet keeps doing that. But for the time being, let's keep at it until it's time to log off, and then I'll give my farewell address. I Spy, here we go. Chizard wearing only a holiday hat. Only a holiday hat. There it is. I'm thinking I need to change the settings because I've got it set to knocking out everything. Leafy and a holiday hat. There we go. There it goes. And Chizard and a holiday hat and a bow tie. Okay. Got time for one or two more boxes. I don't like this one. Because those guys are ridiculously strong. Ouch. They have a bad habit of tossing them as well. I try to stay in the middle as best I can. Because can you die? Thank you. Oh gosh. Also at night, chests spawn. Oh, I hit a real guy by accident. These guys also flash you, so you have to turn away from them so that you can avoid the flashing. The world chests often have recipes in them, as well as gunpowder and that. The newest icon for recipes shows that I already have that one. I love that addition. So anyways, guys, it is officially 5:30. I'm going to end the stream here because I am hungry, tired, you name it. And, you know, there's a lot that needs to be done. And because we've finished off the stream, we need to trade off our stuff. I'm trading for these because you cannot craft them. And, oh, let's get that, and then we finish off with that. And I'll finish off the rest of the stuff in my pile later. But I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year. And everybody that's celebrating Happy New Year right now, Snowball Godam. And I hope you guys join me in the next video. I'm thinking maybe YouTube videos might work better because my internet keeps conking out every hour, whereas I can record for long periods of time, but I don't necessarily need to be live streaming. So I may use the OBS for that instead of trying to stream at the same time as recording. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I apologize for cutting it short by a half an hour, but I had to because internet kept conking out, and you'll see throughout the recording, I think I dropped out like 3 times. And it reconnected to the OBS and the internet, and I'm going to fiddle around with settings and see if I can make it stop doing that. But you know, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in 2018 with a fresh incentive to complete things and do things, and hopefully I'll find a job as well, because streaming and all of that, it just doesn't have any money in it unless you've got a very good brand, or you've got some sort of a reason to do it besides the money. If you're raising money for a good cause, what have you, there's reasons to do what we do. And I just hope that next year I can record some more videos, and instead of maybe streaming on a Sunday, I can record a video of myself doing whatever, so it doesn't bog down my internet. But anyways, I appreciate the input, so if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and put everything in the comments below to let me know how I'm doing. This is the first stream I've ever done that's this long. I think I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, or almost 3. It's been 2.5 hours, but hopefully I can stream longer next time. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video.